why he was avoiding reporters previously. Kyrie explained, quote, "The focus is on what's going on here, and I wanted to make sure that was clear. No distractions, nothing about dispelling anything, nothing about going back and forth." Shannon, did you like his explanation?
Well, I don't listen to Kyrie anymore because I'm going to sit back one day and regret the minutes that I did spend listening to him, Skip. So I don't listen to Kyrie anymore, Skip. This is what he said. He said, "It was really just about how I felt about the mistreatment of certain artists when we get to a certain platform of when we make decisions with our lives to have full control and ownership. We want to perform in a secure and protected space." Skip, what the hell is that?
What is that? Good question. Thank you.
Skip, the NBA is not trying to suppress you. The NBA says if you're healthy, the NFL, the MLB, if you're healthy, you got to talk to the media. Skip, that's it. Not that you got to go to Siberia, not that you got to go all over the place. And it's easy now, Skip, it's a Zoom call. They're not even in the locker room. You just get in front of your camera or a computer and you just talk. What was this? He wants to feel protected in a secure workspace. What? Somehow Kyrie thinks because he's gotten online and he's read some self-help books that now he's this intellect. Bro, play basketball. That's all you got to do. Just play basketball. And trust me, the Nets would trade you. If Kevin Durant signed off on it, they would trade you to Houston for James Harden. All he had to do is Kevin Durant gave the green light. Now, Skip, look. If he can't make it work with KD, I don't know where he can make it work. Because he's worn out his welcome in a lot of different places. In Boston, there's no, man, we got to keep Kyrie. Kyrie, please stay. They were glad to see him out the door. I just don't get this kid. No, bro, just do your job. I understand that you feel you've had this enlightening and you've gone overseas and you've researched and did all that. But, bro, you got to let this go, man, because you sound more and more ridiculous as the time goes by. This is nothing. Bro, I just don't get it, Skip. Like I said, I stopped listening to him for a minute because I know I'm going to sit back one day, hopefully in another 20 summers from now, and I'm going to like, man, that's time I'm never going to get back from listening to Kyrie and his bulljive.
Well said. So, on this subject, over the last week, I've heard from two longtime sources I've had in this league, two really smart men who both asked me in text, has Kyrie Irving lost it? As in lost touch with reality, as in gone over the edge into what you say is sort of delusions of grandeur? Look, he's always had high intellect. He's always been a deep thinker. But there are times you can think yourself into oblivion, and it feels like he's heading in that direction. He needs to be reeled back in. He's lost all touch with who he is and what he represents and what his responsibility is to the game that pays him, whatever it is, $40 million a year. As we talked the other day, he has a commitment to help promote the game instead of biting the hand that feeds him.
Correct.
That's what he does. He bites the hand. Now, here's the irony of this whole circumstance. For the very wrong reason, for the worst reason, for all these reasons that you just touched on, it's actually better for the team if he doesn't speak to the media because he always puts sneaker in mouth, right?
You might be right,
So it helps the team when he basically boycotts because then he doesn't put the team in harm's way. He doesn't put the unity of the team because what does he usually do? He did it last year, throws team under bus, right?
But here's the thing, though, Skip. When he doesn't talk, guess who has to answer questions for him?
I got it. No, I got it.
KD and LeVert and Dinwiddie and all the other guys. Well, why isn't Kyrie? And they said, well, he was healthy. Because if he's not healthy, Skip, we get it. You don't have to talk to the media. But everybody says, well, hey, he looks good to me. It looks like he's healthy. So he was basically just like, Skip, and Kyrie's done some good things. He's given $1.5 million to help with the WNBA. He's given to some worthy causes.
Agreed.
But I think sometimes he overthinks the situation.
He overthinks. But that statement that he made in his statement of I do not talk to pawns might be the all-time condescending, arrogant deal breaker of a statement because as we talked about with you, you were great with the media, and it does help you in the long run because it buys you a little insurance. If you have a bad game, the media is a little more hesitant to pounce upon you. They give you some break because You've been really good, Shannon Sharpe, to the media. You've been the voice of the team. You've been the go-to source for everybody. When things are at their bleakest and you need a statement on the Denver Broncos, you went to Shannon Sharpe's locker because he was available and he was willing to talk about the good and the bad, right?
But Skip, what's the pawn? So
the pawns are just the lowly media, right? Who just get in your way. They ask you questions that are beneath your dignity to even answer. How dare you? I'm an artist. I need a protected space. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
I don't need to stoop to have to listen to their questions and actually answer. Well, when you do stoop and answer, you always get yourself in more trouble than it's worth.
He's starting to remind me and sound like Kanye. This sounds like very Kanye West.
You know what? That's a great analogy, and I do agree. It's heading down that path. This is the Kanye path. So then he goes so far yesterday as to say, I didn't intend, I do not talk to pawns. I didn't intend that to be about any individual or any group of individuals. Well, yes, you did.
Yeah.
It was just strictly about
So who else are you going to talk to?
I don't know. So you're walking that back, or you're trying. Then he tried to walk back his comment about Steve Nash, how they don't need a coach of this team. And he said, you know, Steve's been amazing. He kind of commands respect. Kind of commands? That's sort of damning with faint praise.
Yes.
I think I've got to take back my comments in terms of the head coach. And then he goes on to say, but we're also doing a great job of coaching each other to make us all better. I think he's still trying to say, but really we know more about it than Steve does, right? Because he might have played a long time ago. Well, all he did was win back-to-back.
Back-to-back MVPs.
Okay, got it. So then finally, Kyrie makes this statement. He says that he's talking about how he refers to him and Kevin Durant as 7-11. Now, Kevin's wearing 7, and he's wearing 11 since Boston. He wore 2 at Cleveland, obviously. But he says, 7-11, you better get to know us. Get to know you. So you're calling yourself 7-11, which is like, I love 7-Elevens, but it's like a convenience store. And I don't know if you want to compare you and Kevin Durant to a convenience store.
Yeah. Who doesn't know Kevin Durant?
That's what I'm saying.
He's a two-time Finals MVP. He's a league MVP. He's arguably he's probably one of the top 5 most unstoppable players. He has an unstoppable shot. We know who KD is. Kyrie, we know you also.
Yes, we do know. So you better get to know 7-Eleven. We got it. I'm in awe already. And by the way, it didn't hurt. All this hubbub didn't hurt either one of them in their first preseason game, because Kyrie was really good in that game, and so was Kevin, right?
Yeah. If LeBron and AD says, y'all better get to know Tucker Horton. Taylor. THT. Y'all better get to know him. Okay, now.
Hey, got it. LeBron called him special in a tweet.
I better pay attention to this dude, because AD and LeBron say we need to get to know these dudes.
Got it. Another good analogy. I agree.
But you're talking about Kevin Durant, who's a 12, 13-time All-Star. You talk about a guy, and Kyrie's been a multiple-time All-Star, who's made big shots on big stages. And we need to get to know you guys, okay?
So then I wondered, why did Kevin choose to wear 7 at Nets?
Right.
And there's a Wall Street Journal article that said that he chose 7 because it represents in the Bible completion, because on the 7th day, God rested.
Correct.
So now I'm thinking, are you trying to say you're God's gift, or
so now he's
you're the ultimate creation?
This is it.
Like God made Kevin Durant and said, whew, I got to take a day off.
I was at OKC. I was at Golden State. Now I'm complete. I'm here.
Okay.
This is where I choose to be Skip. Hey.
Both of them are sometimes way out there. They're both anti-media. They both have bitten the hands that fed them.
Right.
My favorite Kevin Durant story of all time is at the All-Star game after the year he had been voted the MVP of the league. What an honor. And then that same group, most of them all voters, he says, you guys don't know bleep about basketball. You don't?
If I did, I'd raise my hand like Kevin. I voted for you for the MVP. So
I take it back.
Are you saying I got it wrong?
Yeah, I got it wrong. I take it back. These two, what a pair. And yet Kyrie seems to be, of this duo, the leader, because it was Kyrie who said, Kevin, let's not, we don't want to go to the Knicks. Let's go to the Nets.
Right.
Really? Okay, I'll go to the Nets.
Right.
They're like 2 kids at a sleepover, at one of their houses. Oh, let's do that. Okay,
Right.
here we go.
And KD said, you know, hey, everybody thought I was going to the Knicks. He said, but I don't want that. I said, I'm not in awe of, you know, being in Madison Square Garden and being some savior of the Knicks. That's not who I am. And he's really not, Skip. I mean, you look at him and you watch him, you're like, well, dang. He doesn't care about being a leader. All he wants to do is play basketball. Yeah, I don't care nothing about no lead. Oh, Steph, you, Draymond, Clay, y'all want to lead? Fine. Russ, you want to lead? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Just let me. All I want to do is hoop.
Okay, so I reiterate my stance on Kevin. I still think he's the best player on the planet. He's just been out of sight, out of mind. Mm-hmm. I reiterate my stance on Kyrie. He's still great. He made a great clutch shot, 2016 finals. He can be incredibly clutch and has the best handle in the game, and he still does.
Yes.
But I just hope these two can stay out of each other's own way. You know, can they get out of their own way enough for this team to survive and then thrive?
Yeah, because I guess Kevin has his moods, and I think the thing is, Skip, is that what Kevin is looking for, he went to Golden State, he won 2 titles, and it didn't give him the peace and the validation that he thought it would give.
And he won back-to-back finals MVP.
And people still said LeBron is better.
Yep,
because they said, hold on, wait a minute. If LeBron is the best player, I beat him twice on the biggest stage, doesn't that make me the best player? No, you just happen to be on the best team. And so I think the battle, because he even said once he won the title, he's like, that's it? Well, I mean, I thought, nope, that's it, KD. And so hopefully now, Skip, he's at a place now he wants to be, and he's not going to be thought about of tagging along, because they're like, well, KD, those guys really didn't need you.
Yep.
Now he's in a place that the Brooklyn Nets, they need him. And if he were to secure a title for them, it would mean more than both of the titles that he won at Golden State. And people will have a totally different perspective of who Kevin Durant is. I already know he's great, but he wins the title there, Skip.
Totally agree. So I always say that your man, LeBron James, is by far the most interesting man in sports, maybe in sports history, because it's always something with him. He has a great story dynamic around him. It just there's a new story a day. I even tweeted about LeBron last night. We're going to talk about it later, but he's tweeting about the Browns. I'll save that for later.
Yeah. He was on that Lobo, Skip, so he was out there right. He wasn't in his right mind last night.
All right, but I always say the Lakers are extremely fascinating to watch from day to day. This team is going to rival them, the Nets, on sheer intrigue from day to day. It's going to be a story a day with these
Think about how many national televised games that they have. They weren't putting the Brooklyn Nets on TV last year, even with Kyrie. Kevin Durant is the reason why they're about to have, I think the Lakers have 17. I think they got like 13 or 14. There's a reason why the Brooklyn Nets on national television.
The opening act on, when is it, a week from?
They'll opening night? Opening night.
Opening night.
The Warriors go to Brooklyn.
Warriors at Nets.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. When the last time the Brooklyn Nets opened up on national TV?
Here we go.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.